Hi everyone! So in this video, we're going to continue our discussion of Ionic nomenclature. Remember that stands for rules for naming, and learn how to write Ionic compound formulas. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so there's a couple different steps. The first thing we need to do is to draw the template to help us figure out where things need to go for Ionic compounds. So it's that combination of lines and boxes that you see listed below. The second thing we're going to do is go ahead and write the cation on the first line and then the anion on the second line. So remember, cations are positive, they're going to be our metals. Anions are negative, and they're going to be our nonmetals. We're then going to crisscross. So we're going to go from top and then change places of the superscript numbers, and we're going to fill in the boxes. Once we have the boxes filled in, we need to erase the positive and negative signs. So we just keep the number, we forget about the positive and negative. If necessary, we don't always need to, but sometimes we need to reduce the superscript numbers that are in those boxes to make them smaller ratios. And then finally, we're going to rewrite our final answer without those boxes and lines so that it looks nice and neat and pretty. So let's go ahead and try this out. Okay, so for our first example, we're going to go ahead and write the formula for magnesium and oxygen. So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and draw our template. So the line box setup. The next thing, we're going to go ahead and write the cation first and then the anion second. So Mg plus 2 goes on the first line, and then O minus 2 goes on the second line. Okay, we get those charges from the periodic table. Remember, we go from the left to the right, plus 1, plus 2. We skip the transition metals. Group 13 is plus 3. Group 14 with carbon and everyone else is plus or minus 4. And then we go in reverse. So minus 3, minus 2, and minus 1. So that's where we get those charges from. So the next thing is we're going to crisscross the superscript numbers. So the plus 2 for magnesium is going to go into the second box. So remember, we trade places. And then the minus 2 from the oxygen is going to go into the first box. Now, once I have that, I erase the positive and the negative sign. So it's just Mg, 2, O, and 2. Then the next thing I want to do is to reduce the number in the boxes if possible. So I had 2 and 2, which I can reduce to 1 and 1. So we always want to have the lowest ratio possible. So if we have 2 and 2, reduce it down. Then the final step is just to go ahead and rewrite this without the boxes and lines. And in this case, we can also get rid of the number 1 because when we write the element symbol, we're already implying that we have one of them. So the final answer for this is just MgO. Okay, let's try this out with another example. So here we have calcium and phosphorus. So again, begin by drawing your template. So the line box. Remember, the cation goes on the first line, so the positive thing. So calcium is always plus 2. And then phosphorus is going to go on the second line, which is minus 3. We know that because it's in group 15, and group 15 always has minus 3 for the charge. The next thing we need to do is crisscross the superscript. So remember, we go from the top, they trade places. So the plus 2 from calcium is going to go into the second box. And then the minus 3 from the phosphorus is going to go into the first box. Now, once I have those boxes filled up, I then go ahead and erase the positive and the negative signs. I don't include those as my subscripts. And then I'm going to look and see, can I reduce this? In this case, the answer is no. 3 and 2 do not reduce to any smaller whole numbers. So I'm going to keep them as they are. And then as I go ahead and write my final answer, without the lines and boxes, it becomes Ca3P2. Okay, so thanks for watching, everyone. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, have a great day. Bye.